What is up, guys? Welcome to Rev Step. So today is a very exciting moment for the car. I purchased that, which is an integrated engineering intercooler for the MK7 GTI. Apparently the stock intercoolers are not very efficient, so it's recommended once you go past stage 1 to update your intercooler. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm trying not to make this video very long, so I'm gonna record only the key points or the ones that I find difficult. There are a lot of guides online as to how to install the intercooler. Integrated Engineering, they do a great job giving you a guide or step-by-step instructions. So I'm just gonna go over like the things that I do differently or what I think is helpful. So I'm not gonna show you everything in detail. I'll just show you the key points. The first few key points I want to make is a lot of people find it difficult how to jack their car up and where to put the jack stands and how to do everything. So what I did is actually I used this jack point. I don't know if you guys can see it. This jack point right here, and that was where I put the jack. And this is where I put my jack stands. They're resting on the elbow, but that's okay. That elbow holds the car's weight constantly on the road, so that's totally fine. It's, as you can see, it's not moving. The car is not going anywhere, and it's not gonna damage anything. So that's a very easy way to jack up the car. All you have to do is just remove the wheel when you jack it up and put the jack stand under. So anyway, I'm gonna open the box, so you guys are gonna be part of this. Alright, I hope you guys can see this. That happened. So I'm gonna put you guys back up here. There we go. So now that you guys are set, I'm gonna go ahead and open the package. I'm gonna stay out of the light for a little bit. I know it's a little bit darker over here. You guys can't see very well. And by the way, I don't know how to use this very well, so as you can tell. So what's in the package? We have some stickers, a lot more stickers, invoice, there's stickers. We have the hardware. And I'll tell you one thing, guys, this thing is packaged very well. And just to specify, I did not purchase it directly from Integrated Engineering. I purchased it from FAS Tuning, and those guys are great. You guys should check them out. This thing is heavy. So here's the intercooler. I think it looks amazing. The detail to this thing is perfect. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this down because we'll have to come back to this at a later point. For now, I'll set it up over here. So as I said, we'll come back to this later. I'm just checking out the little silicone connectors that Integrated Engineering provides. Great packaging, very safe. I will look over the intercooler in a little bit as well. But what I'm going to start doing is disassembling the front end. A lot of you guys know the bumper needs to come out and a bunch of fender linings needs to come out and stuff like that. One thing is, I was hoping Integrated Engineering is going to provide installation instructions of the intercooler. I did not see that in the box, so I'm gonna have to go ahead and print those out. I looked through a lot of online tutorials and guides, so I think I have a pretty good knowledge as to what has to happen with the car, but I still want to have a little guideline. So the first thing I think is the grill has to come out, and then a bunch of other stuff has to come out. Then there's some screws. Sorry, the screen is just dirty. So there's some fender liner screws that need to come out, so the fender liner can come out, and then the bumper can be popped out. One thing I have to do is actually with this car is remove the tow hook. I don't know if you guys can see. Yeah, the tow hook license plate that needs to come out because it's on the way, and I don't want to rip it out when I pull the bumper out. So that's one thing I have to do. But yeah, I'm gonna start working on the project. Again, I'm not gonna do everything in detail because there's a lot of tutorials, but I'll show you guys what I think and what can be done differently and some of the other main points. But I'll see you guys in a little bit once this whole front end is pretty much apart and disassembled. Alright guys, a small update. I didn't do anything crazy. This is what the car looks like right now. So I decided to take everything away, like the headlights, the horns. Now the next turn will be the crash bars coming out, and it's only held by 2 bolts so far. But yeah, that's it. Nothing crazy. I used a little jack to support the core. And once the core is down, I'm going to have to split it apart and then put the intercooler in. So stay tuned. Hey guys, it's been a few hours since I've updated you. This is the intercooler is back in there. I didn't take any comparison shots. Here's the stock one. You know, you guys have seen the comparison shots. I was going to do that. One thing I wanted to point out, this little tab right here, which looks like that, it's snapped. You can see it snapped over here. So I had to ghetto rig that. This is what snapped off once I tried to put the set screw in. I don't know if that's something to do with the quality control, but you know, I'm not very happy about it. But again, I had to ghetto rig it, so it worked fine. Everything else is back together. You can see the crash bar is solidly back in place. The core is being held fine. I just gotta put everything back together. After I put it back together, it'll be good to go. Again, I'm super tired. I'm just gonna start smacking stuff back on, and we should be done shortly. Thank you guys. I'll be back with the update. Well guys, it's the next day after the intercooler install. So everything went successful. I drove the car for a very tiny bit. It keeps the temperature really close to what's ambient outside, which is amazing. I'm very happy with that. So what should I talk about? Since I didn't made a lot of, I guess, installation tutorials or guides, I didn't really want to. It took me 6 hours to install the piece, which was ridiculously long. I was super tired. I ended up, like, I had to clean everything over here. I was up until 2 a.m. last night installing this and fixing everything up. I did not even start the car up that night. That's how tired I was, so I didn't make sure. It was working nothing. I just put everything back together and was done. The installation was very simple. Putting some of the parts back together, like the air ducts and the air guides, that was a little bit complicated because my brain was so tired I could not remember where everything went, but it was fine. So what I want to talk about really is this little piece, i.e. they have a really good quality intercooler, but this little piece broke. So what I had to do is I ghetto rigged the little support for the AC condenser. I ghetto rigged that with a piece of wire, and that seemed to fix the problem. There's no rattling, there's nothing coming out, and after I put everything together, all the plastics and stuff like that, it was totally fine. So what are my thoughts of it? If you have somewhat knowledge of how to install parts on the car, this is, I would say, from 0 to 10, this will be about a 7.5 to 8. At least for me it was 7.5 to 8, because there's a lot of things that I needed help with, which my dad was around, so he was kind of giving me pointers, and also he was helping. You need a second set of hands, that's all that matters. Because having to remove the bumper, having to hold the support on the inside, the core support is ridiculous. I used the jack for the most of it to hold the core support. But yeah, I would say get a friend. If you know what you're doing, get a friend to help you. It's going to make the process a lot easier. Each one of you can work on each side, which makes it a breeze. If you don't have the tools and you don't have a lot of knowledge, or you're not confident, I'll say take it to a shop. It's going to save you a lot of hassle. Honestly, 6 hours, that's a long time. I'd rather be rested, I'd rather be sleeping, etc., etc. But it was a learning experience for me. Would I want to do this again? Never. I would not want to touch an intercooler install on this car specifically. The setup is insane. The way they have the core support set up and the way they have the intercooler in between the radiator and the condenser, it's ridiculous. I think there should be a better way. But hey, whatever. I love this car. I live with it every day. It's awesome. My driving with the intercooler, it keeps the temperature within 10 degrees of ambient. It's pretty warm outside. It's getting close to 90s today, and it's keeping it there. So that's phenomenal. I'm really happy about that. Especially with stage 2 being tuned, the car generates more heat, etc., etc. So the log is better. But yeah, I can't wait to drive it a little bit more today, and then I'll give you my final thoughts. But back to the install. It took forever. It was a difficult install. It's the most difficult thing I've done, especially on this car. I've done previous front mount intercooler installs on different cars. My previous car, it was simple. It was a breeze. You just take the bumper off, slap the intercooler on, and you're done. This one, not so much. This one is a little bit more difficult. But yeah, that's it, guys. Sorry there's not much of a guide as to how to install the intercooler, but there's a lot of guides outside, as I mentioned before. But I appreciate you guys for watching this video. Stay tuned on my actual review of the intercooler when I'm going to look at the logs. I'm going to run a few different logs. I think I'm going to retune the car to match the extra cooling it's getting. Please subscribe. Please let me know what you guys think. Again, good quality, but this piece broke off. So, thanks guys. Have a good one.